Welcome to this session, Honorable Minister, distinguished guests and partners. This is the 8th of such fora. At GCA, our mission is clear: climate-proofing development against the devastating impacts of climate change.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is no longer a secret that climate change is one of the defining global challenges of our times, and Africa remains disproportionately affected despite being the least contributor to the global greenhouse gas emissions.
Programs like AAAP, you are becoming like the viable alternatives. The adaptation financing is not coming out through the mainstream Conference of Parties negotiations. So we look up to you to be the alternatives that are going to provide that financing which we desperately need.
The gap between the needs for adaptation and the actual funding flowing, especially to Africa, is still glaring. And also, the current geopolitical situations are even making the situation not even better. And we still need, as we gathered today, to ensure that we partner together and accelerate more funding, more action on the ground to implement adaptation action.
This gathering comes at a critical time as this region continues to face dual challenges of accelerating climate impacts and the urgent need for resilient, inclusive growth.
The action on adaptation is still yet needs to improve significantly. We need to raise ambition on adaptation, but also we need to raise ambition on support. How do we do that? The opportunities that are offered by the AAAP and many others, I think, are the instruments that we need and how to bring the different actors and stakeholders together.
In terms of food security, clearly road disruptions as a result of climate effects could severely impact the economy, and without adaptation, in specific reference to Serengeti Pika, would cost about $10.1 million by the year 2050.
Based on the adaptation and the technical assistance that was provided, so we got to know if we don't design or we don't put it into the planning design, it's going to come, it can save up to $60 million each year by 2040.
It is therefore very, very encouraging that we have institutions of people who are committed, dedicated to changing this. And we have therefore, along the way, institutions like the AAAP, which is there to ensure that we do not suffer that type of climate disaster going forward.
The government of Madagascar, with the support of UNICEF, the World Bank, and the GCA, will develop by October 2025 a national climate finance strategy. The national climate finance strategy will support the resilience and sustainable facility in implementation, and AAAP is supporting the adaptation component of the RSF for Madagascar.
All the actions that we take on climate change should be based on research, and it should not be just a matter of momentum, but to actually show the link and how it impacts the economies of countries.
Distinguished audience, we do face significant challenges in financing resilient infrastructure. I call for a strategic partnership between the University of Zambia, the Global Center on Adaptation, the African Development Bank, and AAAE partners, focusing on the following 3 areas: technical collaboration, 2, infrastructure financing. Thirdly, we need to establish a regional center for climate-focused research and training in climate-smart infrastructure strategies.
We are actually the only commercial bank in Zambia that is accredited to the Green Climate Fund. So with that partnership, we're able to onward lend up to about $50 million per project in the climate space, projects that are driving the green economy, whether it's in climate smart culture, whether it's in infrastructure, whether it's in energy, we're able to do that.
Africa requires between 250 billion to to over 1.3 trillion per year to address adaptation.
On strong adaptation policies, it is our call as young people that it should be made mandatory for all countries to develop and implement an inclusive and robust national adaptation plan. And also, youth participation must be embedded at every stage of these national adaptation plans.